the question is, if we start drinking rosé, are we fashion victim? You know, the rosé wave has been going through the wine world over the last 8 to 6 years. It's insane. I remember in South Africa almost 30 years ago, there might have been one or two producers of dry rosé, and rosé was known to be a semi-sweet wine. That has changed drastically, and we are now enjoying the Creation Rosé 2022, which is a blend of Grenache Noir and Syrah. What do you have in your glass, Kathy?
You have, now you will have to tell me how to pronounce this, a Provençal hue. Is that correct?
Provençal?
Provençal.
Provençal, yes.
From the Provence. So, you know, the British were big drinkers of the Loire and the Provence rosés. And the story always was that they'd drink them and they'd love them when they were holidaying in Provence. And then when they got back to wet, dreary UK, they would suddenly find that they weren't having the same experience of a summer holiday. Go figure, hey? And then they'd pop on down to the local and buy a few bottles of Provence rosé and try and recreate the moment for them. I don't think that drinkers or buyers of this who visit and holiday in the Hemel and Arder Valley would be disappointed if they took a few bottles home and drank them there. Look, it's very pale in colour, which is almost counter to the Grenache Noir. I mean, if you think of the rosés that you get from Spain that are made from Garnacha, they are much darker than this. But so this definitely is, I think, capitalising on the trendy trend, if I can be so unforgiving with my choice of words there. But there is some fresh berry on the nose, which is really a plus, because for me, when I find that the rosés are showing more boiled sweets or little boiled suckers, that it loses its freshness. I much prefer to get the berry fruit on the nose, and this is what you're getting here. It's a little bit of understated floral, a very, very bright acidity, and it's exceptionally dry, exceptionally dry. And I think that is the main characteristic of the palate. There is a subtle berry flavour, but essentially this wine is made to be a beautiful colour, some fresh berries on the nose, and then above else it's got to deliver dryness, which this wine certainly does.
I think the color is really a key here. As well, Grenache tend to become orangey fairly quickly when it's pure, while Syrah gives this little hint of bluish color on a young wine we're looking at 2022 from the Cape South Coast. Therefore, achieving this light color, but a balanced color that's not turning into orange peel, onion peel, and keeping this freshness. That's what you have to look to identify this wine. And yes, on the fruit spectrum, I got, for those who know this, grenadine syrup. I know it's not really famous, but you find that in some. It's a blend of different red fruits, and it's very subtle, and the sharp acidity. This wine is extremely fresh.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's one you feel, and remember, very often people drink the wine too cold because the wine is not fresh enough on its own. And when I mean fresh, I don't mean the temperature, I mean the acidity. You know, freshness is a much more sexier name than saying acid wine. Acid wine can make you think of many other bad things. Therefore, the freshness of that wine is perfectly natural, and you understand that if they've been harvesting Grenache to get that very pale color, we are looking at around 12.5 alcohol. We got more than 6 gram acidity. I think it's very well very well made wine technically, because it goes straight to the point of giving freshness on a hot summer day in the Hemel Ridge Valley. Go to the restaurant. I'm sure they got a great pairing to go with this wine.
Absolutely.
But I love the color. It can really compare with the best from Provence, and we should stop then compare South African rosé with anything but South African rosé. Thank you.